So a final word about the regulatory landscape, and that is regarding the encoding. So I mentioned before that with the new version of China regulations, the law has provided two options. And so the traceability report structure does support both formats. TraceLink supports both formats. We have used the eCode for the previous version of China, and since we have another a rather extensive set of solutions for other countries, we handle GS1 standards there as well. So I want you to understand what the options are, but also there are some implications there. So going back to the first version, we had the eCode. That is a 1D or linear barcode that was put on each product. It's proprietary, not aligned with GS1 standards. And there was a lot of work between GS1 and industry with China, the NMPA, to allow the GS1 standard. Now, many companies prefer GS1 because of the global harmonization. As I said, manufacturers are using GS1 in other regimes. Many of their lines and hardware is tooled for using GS1. One consideration, though, for China is whether your downstream trade partners, so those wholesalers and pharmacies and hospitals, would be able to read the GS1 codes. In addition, we've learned that at that third tier where you're selecting your traceability provider, some providers offer support for just one of these coding schemes. So you as a company need to decide, and again, this is not just, you don't need to make one blanket decision. You can make a decision per product on how you want to encode them. But you do need, I'd say the tier 3 selection is tied also to your coding strategy. So just keep that in mind as you're selecting a provider. And then finally, there's some questions as to whether if you start with one code, let's say for this December deadline, if you would be stuck using it, or if that coding is on a per batch level. We're waiting on some clarification from the NMPA on that. So not all questions on coding have been answered, but I hope to give you at least a flavor and some awareness of the discussions.